Hello and welcome, or welcome back. If you're new to my channel, I'm Georgie from Healing Moons, and today we're going to be looking at intention setting around New Year. New Year intention setting. So we all have these big plans of what we want to achieve or what we'd like to do, or it could be as simple as just getting through another year. But if you've got an idea of what it is that you want your future to entail and what you want included in that, then you can take steps towards it by getting yourself organised around the new year or at any point. If you want to have a reset, whether you're halfway through the year or at any point, you can take the time to do a reset, check in where you are and go from there. But for this particular point, we're going to be focusing on the new year. And to get anywhere, you need to really get clear on what it is that you want. And sometimes this can entail looking at what it is that you don't want to start with. It can be hard to, you have to start from where you're at. So if you're struggling to decide what it is that you want and tap into what it is that lights you up and you want to be doing, sometimes we have to start from what we don't want. So you can sit down, make a list of what it is that you don't want, and then once you've done that, you can then, because you've freed up a bit of space by getting it out on paper, then sit and make a list of what it is that you do want to be bringing in and what you do want what your dream life is and what you want your future to look like. So, and it's also really important to get clear on your why. Once you have an idea of what it is that you want, you then need to be figuring out why it is that you want that. It's okay to want material things if you want a home or a new car or a particular piece of clothing, a brand name, whatever it is. It's okay to want those as long as you're clear on why you want them. Is there a functional aspect to it? Do you need to get a new car because your old one's falling apart? Or are you coming at it from a status symbol side of things? Like, why is it that you want that particular thing? And regardless of what it is, whether it's a material thing or something else, because it allows you to then drop into the feeling part of it. So if you can get clear on your why, you can then tap into the emotions around what it is that you want. And that's the key to bringing it in. This applies to law of attraction, reality transurfing. It all comes back to our emotions and our emotional state, because our body is like a transmitter. So depending on where we are and how we're feeling, that's what we're putting out into the world, and that's what's being reflected back to us. So if you can tap into the emotion of what it is that you want and what your life would be like with it, you can then begin to shift into that reality to then bring it into fruition and into a tangible thing where you can actually touch it and it is a part of your physical life. So once you've got clear on your why, then you can take a look at what your life would look like with it. So when I say this, say for example, you're trying to manifest a job or a change in career. If you were to look at what your life would be like if you had that career or job, down to what would you wear? How would you carry yourself? What would your day look like? What time would you get up? What would your routine be? and nail down those details of what it would be like. One, it lets you really stop and drop into what your life will be like with that job or that position that you're going for in this example, to kind of check in as to whether it is what you truly want and how that resonates with you. Once you lay out what the routine would be and that aspect of things. So it's a way to check, it's an emotional checkpoint as to how that resonates with you and whether that still lights you up. And also, once you've worked that out, you can then begin to mold your life into that routine already. So say you have a job where you would have to get up early, then you can start to get your body into that routine of getting up at that time and finding something to do, whether it be job hunting, from the time that you would have got up if you were going to work, keeping with the new job routine and example, I should say. Then you can get yourself into that routine of getting up at that time and looking for that job that you're after and doing the things that you need to make it a reality. But it also gets your body and vibration into that routine as well of getting up at that time and taking action throughout the day as you would if you were at work, to then change your vibrational set point so that it's more in alignment and your life is already set up and as close as you can get to that reality of if it were true. So, and it's the same if you wanted a car. You can go and book a test drive or something like that to really feel what it's like to have that car and to actually see how it feels to drive. Once again, you may find things about it that you don't like and you may choose a different car, but it gives you the opportunity to see how it resonates and how it sits with you. And it also opens up the action steps that you can then be taking towards it. So, in the example of a new job, you would then be looking at what skills do you need for it? Is there anything that you don't currently have training-wise that you would need for that job or to better your chances of getting that position? So then, while you're getting up early in the morning, like you would if you were starting work, you can then use that time to look at training that you may need to do or sign up to a course and do the other action steps that will then take you that bit closer to what it is that you're after. But the most important part of all this is to be able to tap into your emotions and your passion, because hopefully you're looking for something that ignites that fire in your belly and makes you want to get up, so that you're excited to get up in the morning. I know it can be a bit daunting if, from the career aspect, if you're struggling financially, but if you can do your best to try and focus on the positive emotions, to try and, because if you're feeling stressed out and down or worried, it can lead to analysis paralysis and getting stuck in procrastination. So it's not so much about that toxic positivity of, oh, everything's a bed of roses and unicorns and sunshine, when it isn't. But it's about shifting things a little bit to kind of free up your energy. You don't have to be like way up here with positivity, but if you can just shift a little bit so that there's energetic space for movement is what you're trying to achieve, because then once the ball starts rolling and you've got like that little bit of movement going, then you can build on it step by step. So once you've gotten clear and you are starting to create that little bit of movement in the energy and feeling a little bit more uplifted about it, then you can start to look at the other things that you can bring into this. So those are like your practical bits that you can bring in that work alongside law of attraction and the magnetic pull, because our energy is so influential. Our emotions are energy in motion, basically. So the more we can tap into our emotions around this, then the quicker we can bring it in, as long as there isn't resistance there and we aren't thinking of it in a lack mentality. So if you're getting jealous or beating yourself up because you haven't got there yet, you need to generalize more rather than go into the details. But alongside this, you can also use vision boards, which can be done either on the computer. There are many different apps and programs that you can use to make them, but you want them to be as colourful as possible. This is one that I've been working with for the majority of the year, but as you can see, it's colourful. There's lots of different images on there, and you can put words on there as well and things like that. I started this one when Leon was due to go for his operation, which is why he's the centre of it, because I was manifesting the money for his operation. But you want something that's going to be vibrant, colourful, and really speaks of what you're bringing in and how that emotionally connects with you when you're doing vision boards. They don't have to be done on the computer. You can get old magazines and clip the pictures out, cut them out, do like a little arts and crafts thing, or you can even draw it. Anything so that you're emotionally connecting with it. It doesn't matter how you create it when it comes to your vision boards. And then you can use these during new moon cycles as well. When I'm recording this, we're coming up to a new moon. When this goes up, it will be in a few days' time, so it will be on the 2nd of January. Will be our first new moon of 2022. So you can use all of this to set your intentions as well, and then you can review every month if you wanted to, using the lunar cycle of the moon. And I realised that sentence didn't quite make sense. The lunar cycle is the moon cycle, but there we go. You can also use a planner as well, so that you can actually track what it is that your action steps that you're taking, what the results are. And you can also plot your emotions as well, so you can get a journal out and do that. So these are really kind of your starting points to kind of jump off of as the year goes forward. And you can review these, as I say, at any time, or you can use the moon phases series that I did previously to stop and check in, even if you're just doing it every new moon and full moon, to see what your progress is on this. So you're doing like a monthly check to see how far you've come and see if there's any tweaks or anything like that that you need to make along the way. I'd also like to take the opportunity to say that if you are watching this and you aren't at a point where you are, Leon's kicking things around now, where you are feeling like you really want to be putting yourself out there and you want to be taking massive action towards some big goal, that's okay. Like, you can use these same steps and turn them into a self-care routine. So, which, even if you are working towards a big goal, self-care is so important, because without it, you will burn yourself out. Trust me, I know, I've been there, I've done it. So, regardless of whether you have a big goal that you're working towards, make sure that you include self-care within your routine and the goals that you're setting, if it isn't already. Or simply do an action plan and intention setting around a self-care routine if you're not working towards a goal of some sort, of a larger size, and you're at the point where your self-care just needs to involve getting out of bed and having a shower. You can still use this plan for that, and then just tweak it and change it a little bit so that you are taking proper care of yourself, because the things that we achieve, they aren't a true reflection of our value. Like, we have value regardless of what job title we have, how much money we've got in the bank, what make and model of car we've got outside, or how big our house is. We still have value at a basic level as a human being, just because we exist. So make sure that you're taking that into account as well, not pushing yourself to the point where you're going to burn out or make yourself ill. So I just wanted to add that in there, because we can get so caught up in trying to achieve things and being achievement based, and everything's about what we've done and what we've got, that we kind of forget that inherently we are worthy exactly as we are. We were born with nothing, and at the end of the day, all we're going to leave with is our experiences and the impressions that we've left behind and the good that we've done that has then helped others, and our own spiritual growth along the journey. So, with that being said, I would like to thank you for joining me, and if you've made it to the end of the video and you are still watching, thank you so much. I appreciate you more than you realise, and I will leave you to it for this week. If you've enjoyed this, please let me know, give me a thumbs up, feel free to comment below, and if you're new to the channel, then feel free to subscribe and you'll be notified of when my next video goes up. And until then, love and light, take care. Bye. Hey Leon, Mama's finished recording. Are you awake in there? Hello? Is that a little dog bum? That's a little dog bum. Where's your head? Where's your face? Is it comfy in there? It looks comfy. There's a little foot. Hey. Good morning, sunshine. Good morning. You good sneezes? Yeah? Hey, cutie. Oh, he's a good boy.